So I'm not quite done with my office renovations yet, but I do have some new pickups I want to go over. Hey VC, TC Kirkham here, the Kirkham Report. Welcome. Don't mind the hair, it looks terrible. Um, I'm still working on my new shows and they should go up in the next week or so. But in the meantime, I've got some pickups that have come in and I want to run by you some real quick. First of all, my record store day stuff arrived. I actually bought 4 titles, but one of them I'm not going to show because it's a present. Um, And so this is what I picked up from Record Store Day Black Friday. I got Smith Kotzen, Better Days. This is, of course, Adrian Smith and Richie Kotzen. Good stuff. I also picked up the Mr. Big, which is I have on. Oh, I don't like the focus on this thing. I have this on CD, but it's very cool, red vinyl and very nice looking. Wanted that when it was still only 500, and then when they expanded it to 5,000, didn't do too bad. This one is number 3692 of 5,000, so that's not too bad. And the Evanescence, which is a good one to get. Oh, the focus on this is starting to bother me. I'm not used to this new camera yet. Of course, this is the 10th anniversary release of that, and I did pick up another title that is actually going to be a present. So I'm not going to show that one. Got a couple other things that are presents that I am not going to show either. Let me put this over here. Next up, I usually wait until I'm on camera to open the black box stuff, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do this time. So my I believe it's the November black box came the other day, and they hit me right on perfect cue. Some classic R&B and some current R&B. I love 70s style R&B. I grew up listening to, the Stylistics and the mid 70s Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and all those, and the OJs. This is Ship Ahoy. This features For the Love of Money. This is a reissue from I think 2018 or 2016. Obviously came from We Are Vinyl originally, but this is a black box release. And this one, haven't seen the movie yet, but I'd like to. Jennifer Hudson as Aretha Franklin, Respect. The original motion picture soundtrack features her performing a whole bunch of Aretha's classic stuff. Labels are very cool on this. I'm not going to get it out. Bit disappointed this wasn't a gatefold. The European one's a gatefold. So, but it's still great, and I can't wait to listen to those. Get those out of the way. Thank you, Black Box, once again. Oh, Black Box's card this month quotes James Taylor. I believe musicians have a duty, a responsibility to reach out, to share your love or pain with others. There it is. And of course, curated vinyl from the Black Box Record Club. Again, they're not a sponsor. I just am a big fan of theirs, and I'd love to have them as a sponsor because so far, 97% of the time, they've got me right on the nose. Okay, next up, 2 different shipments from my pal Adam at Record Crate. We'll start with the... let me move these 2 out of the way. These 2 are prezzies. You can't see these yet. Those 2 are Christmas prezzies. We'll start with the most recent shipment, which came yesterday. I had been saving one of them for the debut of the Kirkham Report weekend show, but we'll get to those in a few minutes. Some of these are just crazy titles, and other ones are ones I'm really glad to have. I actually featured the title track from this on my TC's Obscuria Vaults, which if you haven't seen it, it's Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I do a different obscure song every day with some facts pop-up style. This song, General Hospital by the Afternoon Delights. This is a gold stamp promo. Features all their other stuff. They are from the Boston area, which is why I picked this up when Adam had it for a decent price. They didn't have any other hits, of course, but the title track, which was a novelty rap song about the 1980-81 era of General Hospital. Great stuff, though. This is the alternative version. I haven't opened this yet. I can't wait to hear this. Steve Perry traces his first album in years. Alternate versions and sketches, as it says there. This is a acoustic version of the hit No Erasing. Some radio mixes, some really good stuff. This was a great bargain. I'm really glad to have this. I do need to pick up the original. I think I downloaded the MP3 version, but I wouldn't mind having the CD. Steve Perry, just one of the best vocalists ever. To add to my collection for these two, Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr., the two of us. This, I believe, was their second album. I have their first also. I bought that also unopened. This has never been opened. It is a cutout from 1976 or 77. 77. This is the second album that followed up their first album, which had You Don't Need to Be a Star on it. And, of course, they were part of the Fifth Dimension for years. Been doing a lot of these guys, and this album is the later album. There's another one in here by them, I think, somewhere. I'll have to find it. This is, or I bought the one, maybe that one's in the other batch. I think that's in the other batch. This is their 1978 album, Life Beyond LA from Ambrosia. This features their hit, How Much I Feel. Love David Pack and love his stuff with this band. They are terrific. I don't know why I didn't buy this at the time. I love Ambrosia from the very beginning. I didn't have this, and when Adam had it on sale, I decided I would grab it because it's the only solo English album. Now, there's one other one she put out that I don't have, but I have Frida's solo album. This is Agnetha Falskog from ABBA. Wrap Your Arms Around Me. This features her hit Can't Shake Loose. Good stuff. They're always good. Produced by Mike Chapman, who has always done great stuff. I believe he produced Exile in the 1970s, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I'm going to say this one. I'll talk about that last. This is Synergy's debut album. I've been a huge fan of Synergy since a friend of mine sent me a tape of, I think, their second or third album, which features their version of Classical Gas. I'm a sucker for any version of that song. This is the debut album. Electronic Realizations for Rock Orchestra is the name of it, and it's all synthesizers, and they are fantastic. I think Larry Fast does all of it, most of it. Passport Records, of course, but if you are into synth music, or if you like Wendy Carlos, these guys are awesome. Awesome. All right, let me pull this sleeve out here. This is an early edition of this because it's still on Bell Records. This is a white label promo of Suzi Quatro's debut album. I believe it's from 1974, yes, on Bell Records. It is terrific. As I said, it is... Adam does have it in a nice sleeve, and it is that Bell promotion only not for sale white label promo. I love Suzi. I've been picking up a lot of her stuff over the last year, including the Record Store Day release, which I just terrific stuff. She is truly one of the greatest female rockers of all time and does not get enough credit for it. I mean, she only had 2 hits in America. She had Stumbling In with Chris Norman, and then the follow-up, I've Never Been in Love, which was a radio hit. I don't think it actually hit the top 40. It was a radio hit in Spokane, where I was living at the time. I picked this up strictly because of the cover, and it is magnificent. It was designed by Salvador Dali. Jackie Gleason presents Lonesome Echo. This is one of Jackie's mood music albums from the 1950s. I believe this came out. It doesn't have the copyright date, so I'm going to put this at a guess, 1954. Love Jackie's stuff. And he's even got a picture of him shaking hands with Salvador Dali on the back there. Love that stuff. Love his stuff. And I've been fascinated with Gleason over the years. I'm not a fan of the Honeymooners, but I'm a fan of the man. And the kind of creative stuff he came up with, and most assuredly, if it ever comes up for sale and I have the millions and millions of dollars that they want for it, I would buy that house he had in New York in a second. Round Rock Hill, it's called. It's a round house and round outbuildings. It's just amazing. Okay, this one, I can't believe Adam actually had this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab this because I had this on my worst disco songs list a couple of years ago on my website. I love this man. I love his everything he does. He's awesome. But this is not a song that needs to be done in a disco style. So many songs in the disco era, particularly in that really heavy part from 1975 to early 1980, up to the point where Lip Sync's Funky Town hit. So many artists would do remakes. Now, of course, the Ritchie family, huge hit with Xavier Cugat's Brazil. Tangerine put the South Soul Orchestra on the map. All these big band remakes. Those were a different type of thing. I didn't mind those because my mom my mom had a great. My mom was exposed to little Esther Phillips for the first time when we were watching Saturday Night Live repeats in the early 80s sometime, and they showed the one from 1975 with Esther Phillips and her disco remake of What a Difference a Day Makes. My mother about had a conniption fit because she loves the Dinah Washington version. This one, now we're getting into the ridiculous territory, taking songs and putting vocal songs, making vocal remakes of them that really don't belong to a disco beat. And I can't fault Andy Williams for trying to do this. I really can't. Because he did have a hit with it, the original version in 1971 or 72. But this is a white label promo, gold stamp also. The 12-inch single of the disco version of Where Do I Begin from Love Story. If there was ever a song that really didn't need a disco version, this is it. I love Andy. I really do. I do not. I don't mind that version, but I really just was like, why did this need to be done? Okay. With that, I also got a DVD VCLT from Adam and a rock sticker for VCLT. DVD he sent me for that one was the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. I don't know if that'll get watched or not because I am only, of all these four men, the only one I can even remotely stand is Bill Engvall. I'm not a big fan of Jack Foxworthy, and the other two. Kim likes Ron White. She'll probably watch that part, but okay. I have other VCLT from Adam, by the way, that I haven't shown. He got on my case about it, but I haven't found it yet. It's more DVDs, and I will show it in a future show. Then there was the previous shipment, if I can reach down here and get it. Got stuff blocking it. And this is just a little, the usual mix of stuff that I get from him. I got all kinds of stuff from Adam. I like all kinds of music, and he makes it very easy and very affordable to overspend on records. I don't know what year this is from. Probably sometime in the 1960s. 1966. Chet Atkins and the Boston Pops featuring Arthur Fiedler, the Pops Go Country. Pops Goes Country. Sorry. Two classic albums from a gentleman I fell in love with from my step-grandfather. He had a few... he had a few 8-tracks of this gentleman. What's an 8-track, Daddy? And I love this guy's smooth mood music, space age bachelor pad guitar. Tony Mottola, Enoch Light presents. This is Tony Mottola and the Quad Guitars. This features his version of Classical Gas. It has Over the Rainbow, a bunch of classic songs. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. This one's from the 1970s. Going back to the 1960s, there's this one, Lush, Latin, and Lovely, all Latin themed songs, including, well, not really. They're popular songs with a Latin beat. I haven't listened to it yet. So I can't wait to hear it, though. Sunny, The Girl Next Door, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, Something Stupid. So this will be fun to listen to because I love this guy. Um, I always wanted this and never really bought it. And when Adam had it for a decent price, I grabbed it. Dickie Goodman's Greatest Hits. This features almost all. I'm going to qualify that. Almost all of Goodman's famous what they call break-in or cut-in novelty songs, which they ask a question and then use part of a popular song to answer it. The only thing that's not on this a Rhino release is Hey E.T., which was his biggest, which was his 80s hit. All the other ones are here. Mr. Jaws. Oh, Mr. President is also missing. Another one that he did during the Nixon era. But there's some good stuff on here. Kong is here. Water Great is here. Energy Crisis 74. Mr. Jaws, of course. And, of course, the earlier ones like The Flying Saucer and stuff. Goodman sadly took his own life a few years ago. He was a brilliant comedian and a brilliant writer. And he is sadly missed by the Dr. Demento fans like myself. Picked up Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll simply because I didn't have it. This is the original pressing that has the little drummer boy on it that was later deleted in favor of another song. Toby Bow, second album, If You Believe. You'll be hearing about Toby Bow on the Summer of 78 miniseries at the end of the month. Great yacht rock, I guess would be the best description for him. This is also sealed, and I haven't opened it yet, and it is... this one is from 1980. Bigger Hits came out in 78, but I love his voice, and if you haven't heard of Toby Bow, you should look him up. This is the only Donna Summer album I did not have in my collection. I had never picked it up, and Adam had it for a song in good condition. This is her 1977 album, I Remember Yesterday. This is a themed concept album. It features her breakthrough hit, I Feel Love. I know Love to Love You Baby was out earlier, but she didn't chart really high until I Feel Love came out later, a couple years later. One, the Roger Whittaker Christmas album, which will be going on soon. Of course, I don't have a lot of Roger Whittaker, just certain things. Also picked up this because it has my favorite song by them, The Righteous Brothers Greatest Hits Volume 2. Led off by Soul and Inspiration, which is my favorite song by them, other than Rock and Roll Heaven, which came later, but that was a different label and stuff, so it's on this original Verve, of course, there. The second of 3 albums released in the late 60s and early 70s by actor and singer Michael Parks, Long Lonesome Highway. This was released during the time he was on a television show called Then Came Bronson. My mom and my grandma were both fans of that show. I love his singing. He's really good. And he actually had, I think he charted a couple of times on the country chart. I got to look that up. I picked this up because mine's not in the best of shape. This one's in better shape, and it has the original cover intact. This is the DeFranco family featuring Tony DeFranco and Heartbeat, It's a Love Beat. When you originally had this, also comes with the original inner sleeve. On the back album cover, you had this bowl, and you would break this out and cut it out and put it together, which I did when I was 12 or 11 when it came out. I was a big fan of the DeFranco family. Sue me, okay? I still am. Tony is still makes occasional appearances. He's now a real estate mogul, but he still makes occasional appearances with his daughters replacing his sisters on stage. Great album of great, straightforward teen bubblegum pop music from the mid-70s. 12-inch single of this I thought was interesting because I have not seen this, and I do believe it might be a promo. And it's also released on the Blue London label, which is very unusual. This is Bananarama's Hey Hey, Nana Hey Hey, Kiss Him Goodbye, which of course has now become a standard chant at wrestling shows when people are leaving. This I picked up because I'd never heard of this woman until 2 or 3 years ago. I was watching something on YouTube. I think it was Watch Mojo. And this lady came to my attention, and I'm like, this woman is amazing. I looked her up on Spotify, have her on my Spotify list. Incredible, incredible guitarist. Sister Rosetta Tharpe. This one is The Gospel Truth. And I got this for a great price. This is a good price for this album. It is on the original Black Mercury label, as you can see. Can't wait to get into this. I still haven't listened to any of these. The other Christmas album, Roger Williams, Christmas Time. Roger Williams, of course, the pianist. There he is. Two classic soundtracks, one of which I have on CD. This is not it. Americathon. This movie was a bomb, but it does have good stuff on it. Beach Boys, Elvis Costello, Nick Lowe. Was not a big hit. I really Get a Move On, I think, was the biggest hit from this. That was Eddie Money's song. None of these other ones really clicked off this. And call me cheesy. I love cheesy movies. My wife, thanks to my wife, who is a big Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan, there is no movie more cheesy than this one. She's still not seen it. I've got to show it to her one of these days. But the soundtrack was always phenomenally good. This is the original motion picture soundtrack from American Anthem, a movie about Olympic gymnasts, starring Olympic gold medal winner Mitch Gaylord. I haven't seen Mitch in ages. He really didn't do that well as an actor. He kind of took off as a host for a while, but I haven't seen him recently. This features John Parr's Two Hearts, Mr. Mister's Run to You, and an incredible pair of instrumentals, Arthur's theme and Julie's theme, from Alan Silvestri, plus Take It Easy by Andy Taylor from Duran Duran, and a few other good things. I have played the CD to death. I love the CD, but I wanted it on vinyl since Adam had it at a good price. I figured I'd grab it. And finally, adding to my radio transcriptions collection, show I've never heard of called The Stories Behind the Songs with Ed Salomon from Unistar Radio. This was aired the weekend of December 21st to the 23rd, 1990. This is a country music show, and this one features Restless Heart, who I am a huge fan of. Let me see if I can see what they talked about here on the cue sheet. That Rock Don't Roll was featured, I'll Still Be Loving You. Most of the stuff that came from their first breakthrough album, although Fast Moving Train is from their second album. I love Restless Heart, and I have like 5 or 6 of their CDs. I love them, and I can't wait to hear this. This will be fun. So those are my pickups for the last few weeks. I will have some more when my actual show will premiere, hopefully this weekend. I'm about 2/3 of the way done through getting this office and studio done, and hopefully I will have that done. I did pick up, actually, let me share those with you. Don't mind the mess behind me when I get up. Excuse me. Push the mic out of the way. Go. Excuse me. I did do some due diligence with Record Research, which is the company that is owned by the incredible Joel Whitburn. He is the man who makes my entire library of chart books. Most recently, they are updating the top pop singles, and they came to the conclusion that it is getting so big, the last one was over 1,200 pages, that they wanted to do something different. And so what they've decided to do is split the book into 2 parts. They're putting this first volume, I should not have to replace. Theoretically, there'll be new information in future volumes, and I can pick up like every 3rd one without missing any of the information. I did buy the black and white one because it was $50 cheaper than the color edition. But this is Top Pop Singles, Volume 1, 1955 to 1989. This one should not need to be replaced anytime soon. all the singles that hit the Billboard Hot 100 and the other charts. This new book comes with all kinds of expanded information, including a bio for everybody in the listed there, pre 55 list of influential artists who would have a big influence on the rock scene, a few others, lots of great artwork, even though mine's in black and white because I chose to do that. I have the top pop singles through that goes through that they did through 2018. I think that one's fine for current stuff. The second volume of this, which will cover 1990 through 2022, will be out in early 23, I believe. And I just think this is a brilliant idea. Now, we can just get Joel to update the Dance Disco one, which has not been updated since the early 2000s, Adult Songs 2006, and Christmas in the Charts 2003. It'll be great. I still need to get Pop Memories too, which I haven't picked up. I picked up also Joel's 3 pop playlist books. These are smaller books, and the idea behind these 3 things is that for each month in the years indicated, the top 25 songs that peaked that month, they can only appear on one playlist in each book. The first one is 1955 to 1969, and as you can see, it gives you a list of each song through each year. Every song listed, and then each month has its own thing with some artwork and the top 25. This is going to be handy for me when I'm working on a project I call the Missing Years, which I've talked about on my website. If you haven't seen it, you need to go over there, thekirkhamreport.com, and take a look at it. But basically what I want to be trying to do is fill in the blanks on my personal charts, which will be from 1993 through 2021, with some in between that have been done. That's going to be a big project. I'd hope to finish it in time for my 60th birthday. I first announced the project 2 years ago. That's not going to happen because I'm a little more than a year away. So I'm going to, just hopefully get it done within the next 2 or 3 years. This is the 70 to 84 version. I was particularly happy to see in this one that the August list for 1978, one of the periods you're going to be hearing about in summer of 78, right over here. See that third picture under August? That's Christy and Jimmy McNichol. Their song only got to number 70, but it's number 24 on that month's playlist, remake of He's So Fine. Great to see that. And then the third volume, 1985 to 1999. So this will be a big help in getting that early part of that ready. I have meticulous notes I've kept all through the years that I never put to charts. But those are the latest acquisitions. I do have a Grail book, chart book coming. I found for a really good price. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that. For those of you who know me, I've talked about this before. I am always interested in new chart books. I'm obsessed with music charts. And I have almost all the ones I want really badly from Joel Whitburn. I have all the singles ones and a number of the specialty ones. I don't have the albums ones except for the top 200 album chart. I don't have the country albums or the R&B albums. I'll get those eventually. And I don't have the individual chart books where they have individual chart, the actual charts from the magazines. But he covers 4 magazines now. Billboard is, of course, the primary one, but there were other trades out there for a while, and he has issued books on Cashbox and Record World, and most recently Radio and Records. Cashbox was around through 1996. Record World ended up biting the dust in the early 80s, and Radio and Records was bought by Billboard in 2009. So those books are very helpful, but I'm hoping Joe will eventually expand that. There are 3 other major trades I'd like to see him do books on charts for. A radio trade called Friday Morning Quarterback, whose author, Cal Rudman, just recently passed away a couple weeks ago. Cal was a big influence in the music industry, used to appear on the Merv Griffin show all the time with new music acts that they were spotlighting. None of whom I ever think I made it. I remember in the early 1980s, he was pushing a man named Dean Conn, C-O-N-N. I don't think anything ever happened to him. So Friday Morning Quarterback and the Album Network, which was for Album Rock Radio, that goes back further than the Billboard's rock charts does, and a publication that isn't known by many people unless you're into alternative stuff, and that's CMJ, College Music Journal. It also has ceased publication, but I'd love to see the charts from those all mushed together and put out in books. It'd be really great, and especially good for me when I'm doing my Obscuria. By the way, as I said, my new weekly format show hopefully will premiere this Saturday. Yeah, I hope you'll like it, and we'll watch it. I do have other shows that we'll be premiering over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Influencers, off the charts. I'm not sure about Rank This. That'll be coming probably in 2022, and a few other things up my sleeve too. So please keep an eye out and continue to watch and support me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to spread the word for me. Tell people I'm out here. I can use all the help I can get. I'm seeing all these people, subscribers, go up and up and up, and I'm stuck at 147, I think it was last time I checked. We'll see how it goes when the new stuff gets going. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I love hearing from you. And I've been answering a lot this week because I've been hearing a lot on the Obscuria stuff. And again, TC's Daily Obscuria, or Obscuria Vaults every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. A new chart song somewhere, usually, that hasn't been heard for a long time, and some of you may not have ever heard it. But it's fun, and I love hearing from you on those. And we will be doing all Christmas music for Christmas next week. So be watching for that. Until next time, forgive my long-windedness. I had a lot to go over. I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. I will see you soon, hopefully on my new show. Bye.